Chinese officials will not confirm if Kim Jong-un made a surprise visit to the country earlier today. Videos show a train pulling into a station across the Chinese border and a heavily guarded motorcade proceeding through Beijing. If Kim is in China, it comes just months before several important dates for North Korea. Kim Jong-un and South Korea's Moon Jae-in are expected to meet in April. The White House has not set a date for a meeting between Kim and President Trump. Meanwhile, South Korea and the United States plan to go ahead with military drills next month. For more on this, we go tonight to Peter Kuzik. He's the Director of Nuclear Studies Institute at American University. Peter, always nice to have you with us. Your thoughts on the significance, if there is a significance as you see it, to this possible visit from Kim to China, considering the fact that this is his first state visit anywhere in the world?
Clearly, Kim and the North Koreans want to shore up Chinese support before they head into the meetings with Moon Jae-in of South Korea and possibly with Donald Trump sometime in May. So North Korea's relations with China have been badly frayed in recent months. China has actually been signing on to several rounds of sanctions against North Korea in the United Nations. China is very frustrated with North Korea. China's main liaison to North Korea was Kim's uncle, who was murdered recently. And so they've had very bad relations, very tense relations. And Kim knows that if he's going to have any leverage heading into these negotiations with South Korea and the United States, he'd better get China's backing. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He also wants to assure China. Yep.
Well, Peter, do you think that this signals that North Korea is serious about meeting Donald Trump face to face? That this may be just the first step, but they are serious about negotiation?
I think North Korea is serious. The question for me is whether or not Donald Trump will be serious about this, especially now with Pompeo and Bolton coming on in such important positions. We know Bolton's attitude. Bolton's attitude was that we should have a preemptive military strike against North Korea. He's not interested in negotiations. And to the extent the negotiations go on, if Bolton is whispering in Trump's ear, it's going to be a very hard line, all or nothing kind of negotiation. From the North Korean standpoint, it's hard to understand why, given America's recent behavior, whether it's in Libya, once Gaddafi gave up his weapons of mass destruction, or in the Iran nuclear deal, Trump has said that the reason why he wanted to get rid of Tillerson and replace him is because Tillerson was too supportive of the Iranian nuclear deal. So if the United States is sending the signal that it wants to tear up the nuclear deal with Iran, what guarantees could it give to North Korea that North Korea is going to find credible if it gives up its nuclear weapons? And so, you know, North Korea has a significant nuclear arsenal, somewhere between 20 and 60 nuclear weapons. It does have intercontinental ballistic missiles that can hit, presumably, the United States now. We think it might have the technology for re-entry for those nuclear weapons on those missiles into the atmosphere. And so North Korea is in a position where it has what it sees as a credible deterrent. Now, the question is what somebody like Bolton would be willing to risk. You know, Bolton is somewhere of a cross between Genghis Khan and Herman Khan. And you know, he's a very, very dangerous actor who is going to be pushing, we think, or at least in the past, has pushed for military action repeatedly in situation after situation. So that would not make North Korea very sanguine about this and would not give them very much trust in the United States. So what happens if Trump and Kim do have a summit and it blows up, which is a real possibility? Then we turn it over to Pompeo and Bolton to deal with? The scenario worries me, and it doesn't seem to be very comforting or very promising. So I hope they go ahead with the summit. I hope they make agreements and that they work out a path toward long-term denuclearization, which would be in everybody's interest.
Okay. Peter Kuzik, always a pleasure. Great to have you with us tonight. Thanks for joining us on the news.
Thank you, Ed.